go.
Crikey, that looks like a Tomica. But it's not a Tomica, it's a real thing in the wild, in the natural wild, in the Japanese jungle. G'day everybody, this is Peter from the Collectors Club. I've got my hat on today because I'm in this lush Japanese jungle. Look at these blossoms behind me. And what I'm doing is I'm looking around in Japan in this Japanese jungle for the best prices on Tomica in Japan. Come on the hunt with me everybody, because today I'm going to tell you where to get the best price, the sharpest prices on Tomica in Japan. So stay tuned and I'm going to fill you in right now. It's the jungle out there. So let me tell you my story. Recently I went hunting for Tomica and I found it extremely hard in Japan to find the right stores with the best and lowest prices, the cheapest prices. But after actually a couple of weeks of hunting, I was able to establish which stores were better for different items. So some stores seem to be better for Tomica Standard, whereas other stores were better for Tomica Premium or Tomica Limited Vintage. So what I'm going to show you today is the stores that I visited, okay, and where I found the best, the very, very best toys in the market in Japan. I actually went to 3 different places. I went to 3 cities. One, I went to Kyoto, I went to Osaka, and I went to Wakayama. Okay, so number one, I was looking at Tomica Standard. Now, Standard actually retails for anywhere from about 350 to 500 Japanese yen. Which is approximately around about $5 for one. Now, the best store that I personally found was 2 stores. The best store I found for prices was number 1, okay, was Big Camera. Now, Big Camera sold them to me at a rate of about 315 yen per Tomica Standard, and furthermore, if you had a passport, you got a further 5% discount off that. So look, it ended up being about 290 odd Japanese yen for one piece. Okay, so the second place that I found was called Yodoyabashi. Now, Yodoyabashi is a little bit more complicated because you should have a Japanese ID card. If you have a Japanese ID card, you can get a 10% discount. If you don't, you will not get that discount. But sometimes they have awesome sales, and I did actually get some Tomica from about 290 yen after discount. Keep in mind also that Yodoyabashi does accept a passport, and you will get a 8% discount from that. Look at these wildflowers. These remind me of the Tomica Premiums. So the Tomica Premiums were a little bit harder to find. Now, Tomica Premiums, I found the very best prices were at Big Camera. That's right, Big Camera had the very best prices. And the price was around about 560 yen for the premiums. Prices did go up to about 620 yen for certain models. For example, the aircraft and some tanks and heavy vehicles. So 4-wheel drives did actually cost more. So you're looking at 560 to 620 yen at Big Camera. And again, tax-free store, so bring your passport. It's a must. Second store that I found was actually Joshin. So Joshin Super Kids Land, for example, also had some good deals. It was a little bit more complicated again because they had a structure, a discount structure where it was Chinese New Year at the time and they offered a total of 16% discount, but the price was higher. So the prices they were asking were like 680 to 700, but they did have better stock. So they had a better variety of stock, they had more options of stock, and it essentially came into a very similar price at Joshin. Joshin Super Kidlands, I found there was 2 stores, well actually 3 stores, but the Super Kids Land were Kyoto store and Osaka store. I personally felt that there was a better variety in the Kyoto store and less people to actually compete with. However, keep in mind when actually looking at those stores in Kyoto, yes, it has a better variety, but it seemed to me that the prices were actually higher. Well, why? I'll tell you why. Because in the Osaka store, there was a combination deal where you could add your passport for 8% discount tax-free, and also the Chinese New Year discount. So that ended up being total like 8% plus 8%, which was 16%, and inclusive of that you had to use a Visa or MasterCard, whereas the Kyoto store didn't have that. So keep in mind, I find the Osaka store is actually better for Joshin Super Kidland. Deeper into the wild now, a lot of vines here, pulling my way to find those really special discounts like the Tomica limited vintage. I know they're hard to find, but if we keep digging in this jungle, we're gonna find it. Next, my personal favorite Tomica limited vintage. These models look amazing. They are just so absolutely cool. I mean, the scale is to scale 1/64. It's almost perfect. The headlights are there. The interior looks fantastic. The detail on these models is unreal. No doubt they are the most expensive. So that's the thing. That's the challenge. So where did I find the best deals, mate? I looked high and low. I looked through this thick jungle in Japan, the Japanese jungle, and I found some great deals, some awesome deals. But I had to fossick. I had to go to 3 different cities, Osaka, Kyoto, Wakayama, to find those deals. And the best place, the number 1 place I found for Tomica limited vintage with the best range, with the best prices, and the best discounts was Joshin Super Kidland in Osaka. So it was number 1. It had by far the best prices. Some other places wanted like 2,000 to 3,000 yen. Well, at Joshin, you know, most of the models are about 1,800 to 2,200 yen. Then you apply the discount. So just to give you an example, if a model is, you know, Tomica limited vintage is 2,000 yen, which is around about $20, then you get a 16% discount from that. So if it was 2,000 yen minus, okay, 16%, which is about 320 yen, gives you a price of 1,680 yen. 1,680 yen. That's like 16 bucks, okay, $16 for a Tomica limited vintage. I picked up Skyline limited vintage. I picked up these cool old Hondas. I even got the Honda CRX. I got some awesome models from Joshin. Keep in mind, when hunting in the jungle, you're not going to find just everything in one store. You are going to have to fossick. And like I said, I had to go to 3 different places to find the best deals in this jungle, okay? So I had to go to 3 different cities, one out in the middle of nowhere called Wakayama. Can you believe it? And there were some stores out there. So you do need a fossick to find the range and the different pieces for, you know, especially Tomica limited vintage, because, you know, they are limited and it is vintage, yeah? What about if you're looking actually for stuff that is outdated, for black boxes, for things that, you know, are no longer produced and they're not in shelves in new stores like Big and Joshin? Well, I found some amazing stores with some really cool pieces that I never saw before. One chain worth mentioning is a place called Book Off and Hard Off. Now, I'm in the thicks of the jungle here. I've got thorns stabbing me, but just so you know, all right, I just want to let you know that these stores, these are where, okay, you can buy and sell your Tomica. So Japanese, what they do is they come, and because they don't have much space in their houses, you know, what they do is they sell, okay, they sell these Tomica cheaply, and sometimes you can find real bargains. I found an awesome a Calsonic Skyline for only 1,250 yen. It must have been made in the early 2000s is my best guess. Okay, I haven't opened the box yet, and I do still need to check, and I will unbox it here live on this channel. So just keep that in mind. You can find some really good stuff at places like Book Off and Hard Off, and also another store called Hobby Off. Aside from that, you do have other stores like Mandarake. Does have some good stuff, but when I went to the Osaka branch there near Dotonbori, that was, you know, not so good, and I'll tell you why. They didn't have one Tomica limited vintage. They did, however, have a good selection. This is the Chaos store of Mandarake in Osaka near Dotonbori, by the way. They did, however, have a really good selection of Tomica Limited. Now, Tomica Limited range from about 800 to 1,000 yen for the average piece. So that's the price you should be buying it for when looking. Also, some rare, you know, prices when it comes to Book Off and those sort of places, okay? Those sort of places, you're looking at probably a maximum of 1,500 to 2,000 yen. Some rare pieces, you can find some cool black boxes and stuff. In the shrubbery, also find, oh, there's little thorn, he's spiking me. But I did also find some historical pieces, some really cool historical pieces, and I got lucky, and one piece was an old Skyline, and it only cost me 1,250 yen, and that was Book Off, so that comes highly recommended. Definitely, you will have to fossick, you will have to do a lot of walking, and, you know, going and subway hopping between different subs to different cities, to different places, to different suburbs. So have fun fossicking and hope you find a really good deal. Good luck, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been Peter from the Collectors Club. Double thumbs up. Go!